and we're not going to provide poor service. This is a fight that we have to win. This is a fight that's not going to be let go. We're going to the DPUC. We're telling the DPUC there's a direct relationship between the amount of money that AT&T is making and the number of jobs that they're cutting and poor service. We cannot make a profit on the backs of the people of the state of Connecticut, and we're not going to allow it to happen today or tomorrow, and especially with Attorney General Dick Blumenthal here beside us. So this is a fight we're going to win. It's about jobs. It's about good jobs staying in the state of Connecticut. We need the governor. We need every legislator to stand up and tell AT&T it's time to stop. Enough is enough, and enough is too much in this case. We are looking for our jobs. We feel that the only remedy of 84 consecutive months of poor service, not meeting the minimum levels of service to the residents of the state of Connecticut, as 84 months too long. We want the remedy to be to bring back our jobs to Connecticut, to stop this bleeding of jobs to the other states, to maintain good service standards here in the state of Connecticut. And it can only be done with jobs staying here, with protecting our jobs and fighting for our jobs and maintaining our jobs. This is what it's all about. It's too bad we have to take drastic actions to make the DPUC do what it's supposed to do. It's too bad we have to embarrass AT&T in front of these cameras to make them do the job they're supposed to do. But we're going to do it because we're fighting, and we're not going to give up. And it's going to be a fight every day, every hour, until they turn this course around. I just want to thank you all for being here this afternoon. And I'd just like to introduce our illustrious Attorney General, Dick Blumenthal. Thank you, Dick.
Thank you. I want to, first of all, thank Local 1298, the Communications Workers of America, for taking this action in partnership with my office and the Office of Consumer Counsel, and standing up not just for working men and women and their jobs, but the consumers of the state of Connecticut. There's an essential truth here. Adequate service to people can't be provided without working people providing that service. AT&T has set a record of failure for uninterrupted inadequacy in consumer service over 8 years. And we're talking about the basic service of timely repair of non-functioning lines. These telephones for 1.67 million Connecticut families are not a luxury. We're not talking about a luxury, we're talking about lifelines to families, police, hospitals that people need. The failure to repair those lines within 24 hours disrespects consumers and disregards the law. And that is why we have petitioned the DPUC to order AT&T immediately, not at some distant point in the future, but right away, to provide minimal service. The record of failure is abysmal and unacceptable. Lines that are answered on average 4 times more slowly than AT&T's major competitors in the industry. An abandonment rate of calls 4 times the average elsewhere in the industry. Failure to repair those lines out of service within 24 hours, and nowhere near the 90% rate that is required under the law. 8 years have passed. The DPUC has given this company a pass for 8 years. The time for tolerance is gone. The failure... The basic truth is, an out-of-service line puts a customer out of touch, out of reach, out of safety when it comes to contacting hospitals and police as well as families, and AT&T should be held accountable for its disregard for consumers and disrespect for the law.
Especially the elderly.
And that is what we're going to do when we have this rock-solid partnership involving working men and women, consumers, and the law on their side. We will bring AT&T to task, hold them accountable, and force them to do the right.
Keep the jobs here!
Keep the jobs here!
Keep the jobs here! Keep the jobs here! Keep the jobs here! Keep the jobs here! Keep the jobs here!
You already filed this? When you...
The docket was filed on July 24th. Our motions to intervene were granted on October 5th for my office and August 5th and August 12th. So the CWA, the Office of Attorney General, the Office of Consumer Counsel are all involved side by side in this proceeding. And my hope is that the DPUC will schedule a hearing as soon as possible. The most embarrassing thing for AT&T is going to be the facts, because there really is no factual justification for this kind of abject, abysmal failure. When I say it's failed to meet that standard, in most months, it hasn't even come close. All of that record of failure is documented, page after page, month after month of abysmal, abject failure, coming nowhere near the minimum accepted standard.
What would you say the more common standard is right now?
The more common standard, well, the more, you mean the more common rate.
What's happening? Yeah, what's AT&T doing?
In some months, barely 50%. In very few months, above 60 or 65%, as compared to the minimum of 90% that is required. So we have what I regard as, on its face, an open and shut case against AT&T. And I just want to repeat, you know, there's no way to repair telephones except with people in the homes and on the line. Repairing telephones requires people doing the repairs. It can't be done by robots or remote control. And there is a direct connection between outsourcing these jobs and repairing phones, answering calls from consumers, abandoning those calls even when they're made. Those kinds of failures in consumer service are directly linked to the 1,000 jobs that AT&T has outsourced or eliminated over recent times.